McNair gives it to George, running right up the middle. Touchdown! Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle!
Safety, now you're one-on-one with the...
Shows why he's the man! In trouble. Sack!
Ladies and gentlemen, Titan Nation, how's everyone doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Titans Around the World. Today, we have my friend Paul, all the way from Scotland. How you doing?
Not bad, man. Not bad. How are you?
Good. It's weird how we finally, I met you in person we actually went to the training camp, right? Met you.
Yeah, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I can't remember at this point.
That's crazy to think about. I think you're right. I think it was like a week and a half ago, almost that.
Yeah, it
month
feels
or
like
two.
so much longer, but that's just for me because I traveled back and
Definitely.
yeah.
But like I said, it's awesome to have you on the show, and it's awesome to talk to you again. Hopefully you're doing good. You said you were jet lagged a little bit, right?
Yeah, it usually doesn't take me like a week to get over the jet lag, but this time it seems to be just completely kicking my butt. I think it's probably because I haven't traveled due to COVID in like 3 years. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, no, did not too bad. Got back on the 9th of August from Nashville. So
How long is that trip?
I was there from the 13th of July to the 9th of to the 8th of August. Flew home the 8th, landed back here on the 9th. So pretty decent sized trip.
Okay, nice. And how long is that plane ride? Is there multiple?
Yeah, there's multiples. So there's one direct flight from the UK to Nashville. It leaves London Heathrow, and on the way back, it is a red eye overnight. It leaves Nashville at 8:30 p.m. and you land in London at 10 a.m. So that's great. Like it's fantastic. And then for me, it's another hour and a half back up to Glasgow or Edinburgh in Scotland. But on the way out, it's a little bit more. Usually somewhere in the 18 to 20 hour range with all the kind of plane hopping and stuff you do. I think if you get the direct one on the way out, it's 9 hours direct from London, so it's not so bad.
Not too bad, but still, that's still a hike, man. But like I said, what part of Scotland are you from?
So I live in basically the middle of nowhere between Glasgow and Edinburgh. I live in a county called North Lanarkshire, and I live in a little town, or next. I live in a little village next to a town called Kilsyth. I'm about 25 minutes from Glasgow and about 30 minutes from Edinburgh. So I live between basically the two major cities.
Major cities. Okay. Are you the only Titan fan are you the only football fan, American football fan in your town?
No, absolutely not. So I'm in a fantasy group with a lot of people from high school. We play with them. I got into American football through high school. One of my friends was a Patriots fan, and I took like a passing interest because he liked it. And then another one of my friends was a Bears fan, so I got more and more into it. And then passively just watched for years. Slightly claimed like their teams because I didn't have a team. So if their teams were doing well, I was interested in their teams. Yeah, because they're my friends and I'm watching with them, but haven't picked a team of my own yet. That kind of furthered when I left high school, got my first job. I was working in a factory and met a kind of older gentleman in his 60s. And American football was huge in the early 80s and the 90s in the UK because it was showing on Channel 4 here. So a lot of the older fans here are from kind of that era. And he was a Redskins fan or Commanders fan as they are now. So watched with him while we were at work because we worked Sunday nights. So we had it on the TV in the break room.
Gotcha.
And yeah, from there's a whole story as to how I became a Titans fan. But yeah,
Hear it. Let's hear it, man. Let's hear what
so
transitioned you into the Titans fan.
about 7 years ago, I met my now fiance online. She's a journalist. I am trained in radio production.
Okay.
And at the time, we were both working for a video game website. I was running the podcast for it.
Okay.
I co-owned that website at one point. It's still running at the moment. It's called glitchfreegaming.com.
Check it out, guys.
Go ahead. Don't take a huge amount to do with it anymore, other than some podcast editing. But that's about once a year when we do a Game of the Year podcast now.
Okay.
And she was in college doing journalism and was told to write about stuff she had no interest in. So she chose video games. And somehow ended up writing for the same website I was writing for, which made sense. About half the writers were American. From there, we got to talking. We met each other in Florida. We did a holiday in Orlando. It was like the first time we'd ever met each other. And yeah, I then flew out there, I think May 2015. I went up to Murray State where she was at college. Spent 2 weeks up there with her while she was during a college break. And yeah, we've been together ever since. Got engaged 2016, 2017. It was the time she was over here for Christmas between 2016 and 2017. Okay. So we got engaged then. And we should, have put the whole distance thing and everything behind us, but COVID happened and postponed things for a while. So yeah, around the time that I met her, Marcus was being drafted. And I started taking interest in the Titans. I watched the draft. I went there from Tennessee. She's from, technically speaking, Kentucky. She's from Hopkinsville, but like Clarksville, an hour north anyway. So I started claiming Clarksville in Tennessee as my place for sports. And I've been a Titans fan ever since. The madness and craziness and the obsession grows and grows every year. I'm now a Preds fan. I'm now a Grizzlies fan. I'm now a Nashville SC fan. Like all my sports teams are just Nashville based or Tennessee based.
Nice, good. That's good, man. It's awesome. Oh, someone came in behind you.
Is the dog busting in behind me?
The dog, but yeah. So that's good though, man. That's awesome just to have that. And just to clear everything, like you said, you've gotten to you weren't there with the bad years when the Titans were terrible. I mean, there was times where the Titans.
I make a point of when I pick something, I make sure I learn the history. I make sure I become obsessed. I make sure I know what's what, and I go back and learn stuff. So
it's good, man.
I know how bad it was at one point. I wasn't there for it, but I know how bad it was.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but that's awesome, man. Are you planning on going to any games this year or no? Not this year?
Sadly, no. My one trip for the year's done. I was over. I burned most of my holiday days, if not more than I should have. Being there for as long as I was. So sadly, not for any trips this year. Very thankful to have got to training camp. Shout out to Haley for the tickets for that. She contacted me on Twitter and asked if we fancied going, so that was fantastic. It was on my hit list of I know open training camp will be there when I'm there, but I don't know how to go about getting into it.
There you go, man. Titans Twitter will help you out.
It did. It certainly did.
Well, definitely. I want everyone just let your Twitter handle know so everyone can get to know you. Like I said, like doing this just because I want everyone to be involved, so let them know.
Twitter handles at Paul Russell DJ. It's SS, and Russell. I have thought about changing it before, but because I do radio work, it's just easy to keep it as Paul Russell DJ because it's nice and easy to say when I'm on the radio. So
there you go.
With a mixture of Titan stuff, Pred stuff, my local hockey team stuff, and country music.
Nice.
So
there you go, man. Paul, it was an honor meeting you, obviously in person. It's better to have you as a friend now. We'll keep in touch, and thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
And always tighten up, all right? We'll get you back on the channel for some breakdowns. That'll be fun.
Thank you for having me, dude.
Hey, no problem, man. God bless, man. Tighten up.